Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Let's head on over now to gaming and tech. In gaming and tech, we have one follow-up. This is technically something we talked about again in the Friday live stream, but again, viewership on these is a little better, so we're going to bring it up one more time. E3 2022 is not happening at all. They are going to be skipping another year. This is, I believe, the third time in the history of the 20-something year convention, expo, whatever, that they have canceled for the year. Last year being number 2, and then I think there was another one back in the late 90s, but I don't remember because I take wonderful notes. But yes, this year's E3 has been canceled, and 2023 is still going to happen, at least as it stands right now. Moving over to the trailers subsection, now we are talking about LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. LEGO Star Wars, some fantastic family-friendly gaming, and now we're getting all 9 movies. This is reportedly the largest of the LEGO Star Wars, or of the LEGO games, period. So because you have to fit 9 movies worth of story in there, plus all of the crazy extras that they usually throw in to these LEGO games. And we have a trailer about the game. If you follow the link down in the description, just sounds like it's going to, and looks like it's going to be a freaking blast. The LEGO games are always a hit. We have one other trailer that we are going to be talking about, and that is The Witcher 4. Now, technically, this is not a trailer for the game. This is just the tech demo for what they're doing with Unreal Engine 5. Since they are switching over to that engine to build this game, we get just a couple of minor glimpses into what's going into The Witcher 4. But it's totally worth a watch. It's pretty awesome. The guys at CD Projekt Red are definitely ready to move past the Cyberpunk debacle, and I mean, they already have done pretty well with that anyway. So that is what we have for trailers. Go check it out. In news for gaming and tech, we're starting things off with a tech piece, and if you have been living under a rock, welcome. This is what daylight looks like, and Elon Musk has apparently bought a controlling stake in Twitter. So this is, again, in almost literally every other news outlet. The big thing here is that the bare bones information, I guess more appropriate. The bare bones information that we have here is that Elon Musk now controls 9.2%, which is the largest percentage of any single entity in the stakes of Twitter. So Elon Musk has the biggest vote on everything that happens with the company going forward. And now he's teasing the idea of perhaps an edit button. How that works, or how that could work, very much remains to be seen, though I'm going to throw a little bit of my conjecture out there. I believe, because Elon is a very big proponent of not only free speech, but transparency, I believe that if such a thing comes about, the edit button will log the different changes, so people will be able to go back through and see what you originally tweeted, but they'll have to actually click through and see those changes, whereas the raw tweet that has been edited will still be what they see initially. So again, very much conjecture, just throwing that out there, but I believe something along those lines makes the most sense, considering, you know, where Elon falls on a lot of things. Our next piece of news has to do with Xbox Game Pass. There is rumblings in the industry, and from good sources, not just leaks and whatnot, but good sources are saying that this technically could have been a rumor, I guess, but it's from so many sources and from so many good sources, I couldn't help myself. I had to put it in here. Anyway, Xbox Game Pass is reportedly going to start a family plan option. It's going to be, I believe the tiers starts at 3 people. You can have 3 different people on one account, and it's going to be cheaper than having 3 separate accounts, which is how you would have to do this currently. So if you were on your Xbox Game Pass playing any game, and then say your dad wanted to play his game, or your girlfriend or whoever else wanted to play a different game at the same time as you, then either you would have to stop playing your game or they would have to have a completely separate account. That is apparently going the way of the buffalo, and if you have multiple people on a single account, it is going to be cheaper than having multiple accounts, though they did not say what the cap was going to be. No super specifics have been released just yet. As that happens, we will definitely keep you informed. And then let's talk ever so briefly about Crystal Dynamics' most recent announcement for Tomb Raider. Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix have announced that there is going to be another Tomb Raider game. They did just announce that, I believe, yesterday as I'm filming this. So it is going to be another Unreal Engine 5 game, and hopefully they can continue on the pretty decent path they've been on. It hasn't been great as of recently, but it's been better than expected, so there's that. But yes, this is just a new announcement from Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix, and that is what we've got until we hit suggestions in gaming and tech. And for suggestions this week in gaming and tech, this is not going to be a gaming suggestion, but a tech suggestion. So I recently found, and I've also found out that this is only a year or two, probably a little over 2 years actually old, but Vivaldi Browser, Vivaldi, Vivaldi Browser is a new browser on the market. It is a Chromium browser, so that means it's based on the source code for Google Chrome, but it is so incredibly awesome as far as productivity is concerned. So when I'm doing research for these episodes, when I'm doing multiple things, I can have my tab, instead of having just tabs across the top of my browser, I can have each tab open inside the same window at the same time. So I'm looking at multiple pages while I'm doing, writing for Kamidogu, or if I'm doing, again, research for this, or if I'm trying to watch a video on YouTube instead of just listening to it while also trying to get some other work done, so on and so forth. This is just super, and I'm only beginning to scratch the surface of its usability. It is super, super user friendly. You do have to, there is a little bit of a learning curve because it's fairly different from the browsers you're used to, though should be relatively familiar to anyone who actively uses Chrome. I am not generally a person who encourages people to use something that is Google-based, let's say, but this is an exception to that rule. Absolutely worth a look if you are somebody who does a lot of work on the web. Vivaldi Browser is going to help with your productivity immensely, so go check it out. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.